Hi there. Welcome to the new school year. Now that you're in an advanced math class, we're going to tackle how to use the textbook to guide your learning. We're going to talk about how to problem solve multi-step problems, and we're going to learn about how to format your homework so that it is easier for you to read and for your instructor and grader to follow along your work. Let's dive right in. Your textbook isn't just where the homework problems live. It's also one of your best sources of help. Each section contains explanations, definitions, and worked examples. Before starting any assignment, you should read each section carefully and study any example they provide, especially those that resemble the assigned problems. Oftentimes, the textbook will even tell you which example problems go with those particular questions. When looking at an example problem, you should ask yourself, why was each step taken? You can even cover the solution and try to reproduce it yourself. You'll also find that the back of the textbook includes answers to many odd-numbered problems. You should use those odd-numbered problems as practice. Try them yourself. Look at your answer compared to the answer in the back of the book. If the answers in the back of the textbook don't match your own, you should ask yourself where your thought process changed. That gives you an opportunity to learn and tackle the assigned problems with greater confidence. The answer tells you the destination. It doesn't replace the journey. When problem solving, it's always helpful to tackle each problem with a 4-step process. The first step is to read the entire problem carefully and identify exactly what is being asked for. What is the final product they seek? Is it a number? Is it an angle? Is it an equation? A measurement? A graph? A sketch? Something else? Be specific. It will guide you to the approach you need to follow. Second, predict what the answer should look like before you attempt to solve the problem. In this example, we're looking for a speed. So the answer should be a number measured in distance divided by time. For example, miles per hour. Third, show all your work. Don't just jump right from the question to a result. That gives the grader no opportunity to understand your thought process, and no opportunity for them to give you partial credit. By showing your work, you're able to catch your own mistakes more easily and help the instructor understand how best to guide your learning. Finally, I suggest you perform a sanity check. No, I don't mean that I think you're crazy. What I mean is, did we get the final product we were expecting? And does that answer make sense? Are the units correct based on our prediction? In this example, 36 miles divided by 3 hours gives us 12 miles per hour. If we take 12 miles per hour and multiply by 3, we get 36 miles back. So the answer passes our check. It's also important to understand the difference between a sketch and a graph. In this example, I show both a sketch and a graph of the same function, y equals x squared plus 1. For the sketch, I showed the essential features, labeled axes, a parabola that opens upward and is symmetric about the y-axis, and a vertex at the coordinates 0, 1. The sketch communicates the general shape, but it isn't drawn to a precise scale. A graph requires greater accuracy. I use evenly spaced tick marks on the axes. I calculate the points on the curve, and then I draw a smooth curve between them. Both examples need labeled axes and important points. A sketch only shows the essential structure, but a graph precisely represents the calculated values. All homework must be completed on graph paper. You may divide the paper into 2 columns to use the space more efficiently. Every sheet must include your name and its page number. Labeling every sheet means that even if the pages become separated, we can put your mathematical masterpiece back together. On the first page, write the complete assignment. Number every problem clearly. Keep your steps organized, and box or circle each final answer. When you're finished, put the pages in order and secure them, preferably with a paperclip. Remember, use the textbook as a learning tool, not just the source of your homework problems. Always identify your final product, show your reasoning, and check to make sure your answer makes sense. Clear homework isn't just easier for us to grade. It makes you a better problem solver because you're able to go back later on and understand what you were thinking when you solved the problem. Have a great academic year, and thanks so much for your attention.